Happy greetings to all my listeners, my students, my viewers. Thank you for being with me and making good use of this platform, both for yourself and for me. So, through this channel, Live English with Dr. Swati, I try to solve the problems of people around me as well as those people who were never been in my fact. We were strangers, but now they all are my students. So, thank you for making good use of this channel. And through one of my viewer or my student, I can say, I was asked to share a video on levels of communication. So this person wants to know what are the various levels of communication and what they mean by these things. So here I am on the request. So I would like to ask you to please share my videos so that other people can make use of it. So basically, the level of communication could be divided into three major categories, though they can be divided into four or five categories. But here I am talking about three major categories. First is interpersonal communication, is organizational level of communication, and third is your mass communication. So I will be dealing with these three, and then I will be talking about intrapersonal as well, sign language, which is known as sign language, in my other video. So by seeing the clock, I'll just start quickly. So interpersonal level of communication is basically what two people communicate, two or more people, that is known as interpersonal. As you all know, I have even discussed in my previous videos that there is a sender and a receiver. Sender sends the message, receiver receives the message. So whatever communication is taking place between two people or maybe more than two people, whether it's in oral mode or it's in written form, that is known as interpersonal communication. So whatever communication you exchange in your daily life, frame of references, background, purpose, interest, they have relevant interactions. So of course they will have some fruitful interpersonal communication process, and in the cooperation it will be in cooperation between the sender and the receiver. If one party is not interested and does not use common language, no communication can take place. So it is always important that of language should be same. And then of course, as I have said earlier, even the senders needs a proper language and receiver need to understand that language as well. And then you must understand that it can be in both the oral and written form, and you can even say it could be face to face, it could be telephonic conversation. And the best part of communication is that here you will get the immediate feedback, immediate responses. So in case of written communication, there is no immediate feedback. Of course it takes times, but important thing about interpersonal communication is clarity of purpose and skill in communicating the message is important. Second is organizational communication. It is whether an or small, all kind of communication takes place over here, both with the outside world and within the organization internally. So of course organization lay stress on teamwork, where the top official and low level employees interact with each other. And such team based organization communication becomes its lifeblood. Information flows from down up and across the organization. You must understand that organization becomes its lifeblood, and we categorize the communication in an organization in three categories, that is down, up and across the organization. I will be taking the you can say other name of these as well, and I will be explaining this flow of communication in the organization, how it takes place in my video. So you can just keep subscribing and you will be getting all your answers over there. So what is more important in organizational communication is that there are two types of communication. One is internal and other is external. In internal organization, internal communication which takes place within an organization, it refers to the exchange of ideas, information within an organization, which is formal or informal. So information may travel down, up and across an organization. Formal administrative hierarchy is important. Thus you can say the process is important, the hierarchy system is important over here. So what are these? Basically I will be explaining them in a different video: downfall flow, up flow or horizontal flow. Main purpose of internal communication is to motivate the employees to do their job, to help one another to solve the problems, of course in a complex situation, and to develop a clear vision and mission of the organization. In organizations, such informations can be exchanged internally by telephones, emails, fax, memos, and so on. And the other thing is external communication is a second part of organizational communication. It is just the communication which is taking place out of the organization, even carries it into and out of the organization. Most of the business organization today have the public relations team whose sole job is to create and manage the flow of formal messages to outside. External communication is usually in formal form, and in order to create a impression, a good formal external communication is required. Important messages to outsiders are conveyed through letters, reports, memos, website, applications, notices, etc., and sometimes through oral presentations as well, where we use PPT and all. Phone, fax, video tapes is used as the means of external communication. Sometimes informal external communication is brought into practice by the top managers in order to know the needs of the customers or to gather information that might be useful to their organization. While interacting with different socio-cultural outsiders, the communication must be on guard. They must be open minded and full of courtesy. So a person who is doing external conversation, other person need to supervise as well. Then the last over here is mass communication. So mass is, of course, we are living in a globalization era, and advancement of technologies have introduced people to the mass of means of mass communication. Here, as I can say, YouTube channel, I'm trying to capture the people around the globe. Whosoever is using YouTube, they are in contact with me. So I am in mass communication through the use of new technologies, new advancement of technologies, and they even facilitate fast internal as well as external communication. So all mass communication is newspaper, magazine, journals, periodicals, which is written, which is in a written mode or in a oral mode. That is all a mass communication. It is a very effective means. It can easily pursue a person and has a greater appeal as well. Technologies such as internet, email, voicemail, and faxes help people from all parts of the world to work together. Now, these electronic forms of communication, such as audio conferencing and video conferencing, even closed circuit television, increases options for this kind of communication, for the kind of mass communication. Now, some of the major electronic forms of mass communication are voicemail. It's again a very powerful tool of communication used to replace short memos and phone calls. Then teleconferencing, it is again an effective alternative for face-to-face meeting and for informational meetings. Videotape, it is usually used for getting motivational messages out to a large number of people. Then faxing is also there, used to fax. It can be used to save time at the occasion when a hard copy of a written message is required. And of course, email, it offers a fast, low cost means of communicating written brief messages to a number of people. Then internet messaging. Internet messaging is again becoming more valuable business tool for searching quicker responses, feedback of your message, and displayed on the messenger's computer screen. And of course, last could be website over here, which offers interactive through hyperlinks, allowing reader to observe information and consequently. So these are few important types of levels of communication which I have discussed with you today. There is much more to discuss about these things. Like, if you need any other help, you can always write to me, you can put your comment, and I will do the needful for you. So thank you. I am stopping my lecture for today over here, but I will come back with more content. Thank you so much. Live English with Dr. Swati.